Good morning, slightly different start to the day today. I'm down in a car park behind the bus station in Tiverton. So I've got to go to a place called Chumeigh first thing, then up to Taunton, then I'm going to Bridgewater and then up to Minehead. So a bit of a different day. I've got a couple of loft spaces to look at, some external wall coatings, and then finishing the day with a new fire claim on a house, which I'll scan, measure up, video and do everything else. So yeah, it should be a good one. I've got a long drive home on the Easter weekend, so traffic's going to be busy, but such is life. This is my second inspection of the day. This is a loft, looking at because of the spray foam application. This is a truss rafter loft, quite common since the 70s. Started doing trusses in the 60s, more in the 70s, and now it's by far the most common. This is a Fink style truss, so we've got the main gain nail plate at the top, diagonal cord, one up that way, and that's it, and then the same on the other side. Here we've had spray foam applied in between the rafters. Unfortunately, these trusses are about 600 centres, and we do not need spray foam up here. We need insulation down there where it is, but certainly not up here. I've opened up a small section on the rear roof slope. Got about an inch thick foam there. So PIR and foam is better insulant than the mineral quilt, but an inch may be equivalent to 75 centimetres, 3 inches, possibly 4 of mineral quilt. So absolutely no benefit to putting it up to rafter level at all. So the loft we've just looked in was actually my second inspection of the day. I didn't video the first one because there were contractors on site and I forgot, if I'm honest. So after doing that one, which was in Taunton, I've gone up to Bridgewater, and we're looking at a damp issue inside a property up here. So in this first picture we can see the high damp meter readings to the side of the property, and in this second picture we can see mildew growth in the rear external corner of the property. And in this third picture we've got same side of the building, on the flank wall we've got a mildew potential damp issue to the front corner of the property. Now this building was originally a solid brick wall face brickwork, but as we can see in this picture, it's been provided with a textured wall coating. Horrible stuff, really shouldn't be applied to solid wall buildings because they need the ability to breathe. But as we can see in this photo, the front of the building, we've got 3 terraces together, and the property we're looking at is on the left hand side and has been provided with this coating. But in addition to the coating, there's a sand cement render, and we can see in this picture here the sand and cement render, which is about 20 millimeters thick. So what happens, unfortunately, is the building accepts water into the building structure via hairline cracks around windows and joints and stuff like that, but the moisture can no longer evaporate out the face of the brickwork joints, because we've got a cement render over the top of it. Now render is reasonably waterproof, but it's moisture vapor impermeable, so no water would be able to evaporate out the face of the brick joints, or even the bricks comes that matter. So it can trap moisture in a wall. Now sometimes that moisture will be a problem in itself, or in a property such as this, it's helped to reduce the dew point in the wall to promote condensation inside. So unfortunately, there's long term, the only thing we'll ever be able to do with this house will be to take the cement render off the wall, which will cause irreparable damage to the brickwork. But then we can re-render it with a line-based render, which will enable the whole wall to breathe. The whole wall will then dry out, and we won't have any damp issues inside. So that's me done in Bridgewater. I'm now jumping back in the van to head up to the North Somerset coast to look at a new fire claim we've taken on. So this is day 1 inspection of a fire damaged house. In the lobby area we're looking up to charred stud work, floor joists that have burnt completely through. Those over there are going to need to be replaced because of the amount of charring, but structurally they don't seem too bad at the moment. Past the burnt cabling. Okay, into the living room we've got a fireplace towards the rear. And again further further charring of the timbers and of the floor joists in the bedroom above. Into the kitchen. So ceiling's gone, plasterboard ceiling. This is actually a listed building. Lovely old property. Very thick external walls, probably about 2 feet thick or so. I'll measure those in a moment. Quite a bit of damage in here, mainly to the obviously the cabinets and finishes, so the whole lot will need to be stripped out. I'm not sure at the moment where the consumer unit is. It looks like it might have to be to the front of the property, because I noticed somewhere loads of cables that have been cut off. Not sure if that's what that's the result of there, but oh well, those cables, I saw them earlier. Oh well. So staircase to the rear of the kitchen. Never a brilliant idea to have a means of escape coming down through the kitchen, because the kitchen is the most likely place a fire will start. So up the stairs into front bedroom. This is above the kitchen. And over towards the front of the property, we're up into the exposed roof structure. Lath and plaster here, so original probably hazel laths with, well actually that's modern bonding plaster on there, but that would have been a lime-based plaster, probably mixed with a bit of horsehair as a binder to strengthen it all up. And then we've got the main bedroom. I'm not going to venture too far in here, stand on the fire damaged door, because over towards the front we've got a hole taking us down into the front of the property. Got to measure this up in a bit, so I'll pop the phone up on a tripod to record that. Some boarding, underside of boarding in the loft space, and these are our ceiling joists. It's all a bit of a mess, but we can sort it all out. And we've got a rear addition area. We're up into a shower room. So we've got a shower room. We've got a hot water cylinder in there, and then fairly normal shower room. Until we look outside. Now outside we've got this rear entrance door. We're up above roof level now. So there's the roof to the main house, looking down into the roof space over the stairwell and the main bedroom. And then we've got a rear addition area up here. This is over the bathroom with a profiled asbestos cement sheet roof. And quite a big chimney stack there. So we'll get started. We'll Matterport it first to get a 3D scan of the whole property done. We'll try and tie in out here if we can as well. And then we'll do a full measured survey as well. So in the kitchen right now, I'm just producing a sketch plan of the room. Now what we'd normally do on a property like this is use the Matterport to produce floor plans, and then take check dimensions. Unfortunately, because of the damage, it's not scanning, which is a bit of a pain. Just have to go back to the old-fashioned way, drawing out by hand and measuring up by hand. This is why we have the new technology to try and, if we can, cut down on time on site while being just as thorough, picking everything up. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work. That is life. So I've got my floor plans. I'll change pen colour. And we'll get measuring. Take this in the back pocket. Okay. 3, 8, 1, 1. outside we can see it's a wonky old building. So we'll also get diagonals across each room, and we'll try and set each room out as diagonals on it first, and then that will give us something to work to for all the other dimensions in between. When we're doing a measured survey of a property, we'll end up having a sketch that looks something like this. You have to excuse some of the writing because when you're doing it in the dark on an iPad, it's not the clearest way to write. But we can see there are a number of arrows flying about all over the place. This is triangulation. Slightly different to where we've noted with the double ticked lines where the direction of the floor joist span is over. So the idea of triangulation is we can take 3 fixed points along the top. We got 4, 6, 5, 2, and then down that front side of the building we've got 2, 3, 8, 2, and then we've got a triangle of 5, 0, 6, 7. So we can form that triangle, a triangle being the only shape that doesn't distort, and it helps us set the building out, because not all buildings are square, particularly older buildings like this. And as part of these measured surveys, we also end up having little sketch sections like this, so we can work out the pitch of the roof based on a tiny little section detail like this. So I hope you're finding these videos entertaining or informative or whatever. Be grateful if you could click a little like and subscribe, and we'll keep the videos coming. Thank you very much.